Okay, let's go.
Okay, welcome back to American Rants Unredacted, episode 36. I've seen this topic kind of start to pick up a little bit. Apparently AI companies are burning books. So let's go through some of these clips, see what it's all about, maybe add some comments in there, and yeah, let's just get started.
Like you're erasing history. Those are real books. If you hadn't heard, Anthropic purchased millions of books. They just started copying them, and then they just started cutting the spines off the back and then destroying the books. Each page saved to feed their AI training library. Then the originals destroyed like it was a crime. Like they have to cover up the evidence, so they're gonna have to destroy the crime, you know? But don't worry, a judge ruled this is fair use. Completely fair use, completely by the books. And
I was about to say, if they're actually buying the books, like purchasing it, technically they can do what they want with it. Not saying I agree with what they're doing and how they're going about it. I'm pretty sure there's a way to scan books without cutting the spines. Could scan it and then, I don't know, put it up for sale, make some of your money back, you know?
other AI companies have been buying up these old books like hotcakes. Anything made previously to 2022. So anything that AI hasn't touched has an immense value to them. So what do you think? Leave your thoughts and comments below.
In 1956, the United States government burned books. Not Nazi Germany, not the Soviet Union, the United States of America. 6 tons of scientific publications.
I honestly did not know that.
Destroyed in a New York incinerator, on government order. One publisher called it one of the most heinous acts of censorship in American history, and almost nobody knows it happened. This is history versus evidence. His name was Wilhelm Reich, an Austrian physicist and psychoanalyst. Trained in Vienna in the 1920s as one of Sigmund Freud's most promising students. He wrote books that shaped modern psychology. He coined the phrase the sexual revolution. His work contributed directly to the development of theories on ego defense mechanism that are still taught in psychology classrooms today, and anyone somewhere mainstream science refused to follow. He claimed to have discovered a new form of energy. He believed the universe was filled with subatomic primordial energy, the sustaining force of all living phenomena. He called it orgone energy. He believed neurosis and physical disease arrives from the blocking of its release in a living organism. To harness it, he built what he called an orgone accumulator, metal-lined boxes designed to collect and concentrate this energy. Patients would sit inside them. Reich claimed the successful treatment of cancer, leukemia, and other diseases. Then he built something even more ambitious. He called it the Cloudbuster, an array of hollow metal pipes connected to hoses, to a body of running water aimed at the sky. Water strongly attracts and absorbs orgone energy, so the pipes will draw atmospheric orgone down through themselves and into the water, altering energy concentrations in the clouds above. Reich claimed he could use it to control rain or dissolve clouds entirely, on command. Here's where it stops being a theory. In 1953, a drought threatened Maine's blueberry crop. Several farmers offered to pay Reich if he could make it rain. The Weather Bureau had forecasted no rain for several days. On the morning of July 6, 1953, Reich set up his device off the shore of Grand Lake, near the Bangor Hydraulic Dam. He conducted the operation for about an hour and 10 minutes. Rain began to fall that evening. The crop survived. The farmers declared themselves satisfied. Reich received his fee. The Bangor Daily News reported it. This is where it gets heavy.
Okay, there's a lot there. One, yeah, I did not know that. I did not know that they burn books in America. I assumed it. Maybe I shouldn't say I didn't know. I always assumed there were some types of book burnings that happened in the United States, so I just never looked into it, I guess. So I'm going to have to probably look into everything this guy just said, but 'cause I'm very, very curious. And this, what do you say, is Wilhelm Reich? I want to look into him as well, but I've always believed for the longest time that the cure to cancer has already been found. It's just not profitable to cure it, so they're not going to put it out there. They're just going to keep pumping chemicals into the food. The food's going to make us sick. Some of us are going to develop cancer. They're going to be making billions off of the treatments for cancer, and it's just going to be one vicious cycle. They're never going to let the cure come out. Never. I guarantee it's known, it's probably made. Guaranteed. As for everything else, he just barely talked about. Was he the one who first started doing the cloud seeding? Is that where the government got the idea, or did they just take his invention and run with it?
Because 1 year before the drought, before the Cloudbuster experiment, something else had already been set in motion. In May of 1947, a magazine article appeared in the New York Republic titled A Strange Case of Wilhelm Reich. It was filled with distortions and innuendos about Reich's theories and research. 2 months after it was published, it was brought to the attention of the Food and Drug Administration. What followed was a 10-year campaign by the FDA designed to destroy Reich's work. The FDA spent years interviewing Reich's associates, physicians, students, and patients, asking for complaints about the argon accumulator. None were found. The investigation continued anyway. Let that sink in. They investigated for years, found 0 complaints, and kept going. In February 1954, the FDA filed an injunction against the interstate shipment of argon accumulators and associated literature, calling them fraud of the first magnitude. The injunction made it a crime not to only build and use the argon accumulator, but to even mention the word argon in print. Not the device, the word. A government injunction banning a word from scientific literature. In the United States of America, Reich refused to appear in court to defend himself. His position, a cosmic energy that he spent decades researching, could not be adjudicated by a regulatory agency that had no scientific standing to evaluate it.
And you know what? I believe that. I believe the FDA did that. If you think about it, everything that the FDA has approved that is hurting Americans, making them sick, all that other shit, why would we 100% trust them?
He called it an attack on freedom and scientific inquiry itself. Without Reich's knowledge and against his wishes, an associate transported argon equipment across state lines, triggering a contempt of court charge. The jury found him guilty on May 7, 1956. He was sentenced to 2 years, imprisonment, and then the burning started. On August 23, 1956, in New York City, FDA agents supervised the burning of approximately 6 tons of Reich's publications in a city incinerator on Gainsfort Street. Several of the burned titles were not even on the list of books the injunction had banned. Books that had nothing to do with argon energy, burned anyway. This appears to be the only federal sanctioned book burning in United States history. His books had already been burned once in Nazi Germany. Now the United States burned what was left. On March 12, 1957, Wilhelm Reich was incarcerated at a federal penitentiary in Danbury, Connecticut. 10 years later, he was transferred to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. While in prison, according to his associates, he was working on a final manuscript called Creation. When he died, it was gone, not found among his effects, most likely destroyed by prison authorities. Reich had stated openly that he would not survive his sentence. He knew he suffered from a serious heart condition but had not told anyone. He died on November 3, 1957, 1 week before the date of his recommended release. 1 week. He almost made it. Not a single academic journal carried an obituary. The man was erased. Now here's the question history versus evidence always ask. What exactly was so dangerous about this man? He wasn't making weapons. He wasn't openly revolting. He was building boxes and pipes. And yet the FDA launched a decade-long investigation after finding 0 complaints. Got a word banned from scientific literature. Burned 6 tons of books, including ones that weren't even on the list. Imprisoned him at 59 with a heart condition. And his final manuscript disappeared inside a federal penitentiary. Here's what we know for certain. Mainstream science has never replicated his results with the argon accumulator. Mainstream science has never explained the blueberry farms in Maine. And mainstream science had never produced a book burning in the United States. Reich did. Whether argon energy is real or not should be a question science should be free to ask. They made sure it couldn't. Nothing I say on this channel is a secret. You can Google anything I say and find out it's true. I'm just a guy reading it for you. If you made it this far, repost the video and let me know what you think in the comments.
AI.
That's crazy. I mean, so they banned the books, they burned the books. Did any survive? Are there any copies out there? Very curious about that. And I have no trouble believing that story. I'm just going to say this dude needs to shave his mustache. That's all I'm going to say.
Companies are buying up old books at a feverish pace and are taking them apart, feeding them into AI, and then shredding them. They are destroying them forever. This is how history gets altered, is exactly like this. So I would encourage anybody who is into books to grab as many as you can while you can, because this is not going to stop. It's going to speed up exponentially. Yes, they are buying rare, one-of-a-kind copies and destroying them.
It's so hard not to say what I want.
Bitch, they burning books. They're letting AI learn and mimic them, and then they're burning them. If y'all ain't scared of that shit, I don't know what y'all... Listen, for people who are very extensive with their libraries, I am.
To be honest, this is what I'm scared of. If they're actually purchasing books that, one, there's not a lot of copies out there, two, like antique books or anything like that, something that we regularly probably don't read or get our hands on, but if we wanted to, it'd be in their system. And who's to say that they don't take out what they don't want us to know? That's what I'm afraid of. Not leaving the original copy the way it was scanned into the system.
Do you know the importance of having literature? And why this is very alarming. It reminds me of that fucking movie. What it fucking called with Michael Jordan in it?
Fahrenheit 451, I think.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. If you've already seen this video, you know what's going down right now. And if you haven't, I'll fill you in. So AI companies are buying up and destroying a ton of books. We're talking rare and antique ones. And they're saying that it's to train their AI system. It is literally taking the entirety of written human knowledge and historical record. And I don't trust that they're not going to try and manipulate and rewrite history because we no longer physically have the information. Because we're kind of already seeing that now. So keep your books, collect more books when you see them in a charity shop or an old used bookstore, because it is way better to have it in our hands than theirs. And right now, Google is no longer a search engine. It is not a search engine. It's an AI assistant, which means these big companies or whoever pays the most is going to control what you find and control the answers to the questions that you ask. Because what other better way to rewrite history than to slowly remove access to it?
No, because what do you mean that they're burning books? What do you mean that there's a modern day book burning happening right now in our back doors? There are AI companies.
Is there any actual evidence out there that they're literally burning them? I figure maybe they would recycle the paper, or at least find a way to put like a new binding on it and try and get their money back. That's what I'm saying. But are there any actual evidence out there that they're being thrown in like an incinerator, or just having a huge bonfire behind Anthropic? I'm just curious.
That are buying up old books, valuable books. They are feeding them into a machine to strip the spines off of them. And then they are feeding those pages into AI generation software. What is happening to the world? Why is no one doing anything about this? This is why the aliens won't have anything to do with this, by the way.
I need somebody with know-how to tell me how we fix what I'm angry about right now. Data centers and companies of data centers are buying up books, old books, antique books. They're uploading them into fucking their scanners and putting them into data centers, and then they're destroying the fucking books en masse. This is happening at a very high clip right now. They tried to pass some laws, but then it was just basically law saying, well, if you're doing it, you got to go get the books legally. Oh, shit. I don't know who needs to hear this, but when they're getting rid of books, burning books, that's never the sign of some fucking good guys. I need somebody with some common sense and some know-how to speak some fucking life into this situation, because we are headed down a dark path. They want us to only be able to use... Our life is about to be a full-on subscription based, and if you don't subscribe to it, you ain't going to be able to do shit.
That's true. That statement's true. Everything is a subscription now. Damn near everything is a subscription. You got refrigerators with subscriptions. You got cars with subscriptions. Just to start your car, you need a subscription. Just to probably use GPS, there's subscriptions. There's subscription for everything. And it's only going to get worse.
Hey, wake up. We gotta do something here.
AI companies are burning books, erasing the past. Do they want us to rely on them for our knowledge? Anthropic, a top AI company, bought millions of physical books for a secret operation called Project Panama. They sliced off the book bindings, the pages were scanned, the originals were thrown away, cast in the proverbial fire. An internal plan said the goal was to destructively scan all the books in the world. They said, we don't want it to be known that we are working on this. Go figure. The book Fahrenheit 451 warned of this very future. In that book, firefighters of the future don't put fires out. They find all physical books and burn them. The powers that be want to prevent people from taking books in hand and using them to learn and empower themselves against tyranny. In one scene, a woman stands amid her burning books and refuses to leave. There must be something in books we can't imagine to make a woman stay in a burning house. There must be something there. In 2026, the flames have been replaced by hydraulic cutters. Thank you to the 15% of you still watching. You earned yourself a halftime show, a special treat, if you will.
Okay, I'm not even going to make fun of that because I cannot do better. That's crazy. The whole situation, it's crazy. I mean, but what can we do about that? They are physically buying these books, and it's their property. They can do what they want with it. I do not say that's a good thing. I'm just saying, what else can we do? Seriously. If you guys have ideas, let me know. Yeah, I don't know. Everything that's been going on lately in the world, it's like ties to, like, I don't know, tons of books, like 1984 and Fahrenheit 451, and you know, you got movies like, I think like The End Goal, and this is just me, and it's a movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's Christian Bale, and the movie's called Equilibrium. They find a way to take away our ability to have emotions, and anything like art or books or anything like that that would cause an emotional kind of stir. They were banned and they were burned. They were hunted to find all these objects to burn it. They like found like the Mona Lisa or whatever. They burned that, and I think like in ways of the way everything seems to be going this way, and I don't want to be like, oh, the world is dark and it's a dark future for everybody, but it almost seems like that's the direction they're trying to head, like complete control of everything. The question is, do we allow it to happen? Now, I'm not promoting anything. I'm not saying we need to do anything violent or anything like that. You know, operate within the laws, because you know, flock camera will get you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, it upsets me that they're doing it that way, but then again, it also upsets me when people burn the American flag. So, not much I can do about that either. But anyways, we're gonna keep this one kind of short. It's been a rough day at work, but yeah, I'm tired. Just go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the whole situation. And if you guys have any, like, collectively, if we have any good ideas on how to maybe put an end to it, I'm open. I'm open to hearing them. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got for you. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that fun shit, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.